Four. So this game is mini Chinese. Alright, so I'm going to save this opening for the next episode. And this time, my first opponent actually agreed to play. And actually pretty happy about that, because typically it takes usually a few minutes before I can find an opponent. So wow, this is nice. So we have Chinese opening versus Chinese opening. No, I think I want to just approach. I don't want to just make it into like a copy. I don't want to just copy his move. So I'm going to approach and extend back. Oh. I think I'm going to Tanuki here. And I'm going to approach his. So this is probably not an it's probably not a common move. But I feel like I don't want to just extend here. So we're going to do... So this is pretty much a Joseki almost in the opening. But here usually black should jump over here. So I think I'm just going to attach and pull back. So in this case it's probably... I don't know if it's good for black to hang the other way. Normally it's not, but in this case it's actually quite complicated. Since after white cuts an Ataris, white can't necessarily push. So white Atari's back, then black will Atari back, and then white capture. So it's hard to say who that is better for. So you guys are probably tired of hearing this, but you know, a lot of times in Go, like the variations are hard to say unless you can make a really clear judgment. And so that's why I say that a lot. But there are a lot of things that are pretty much for sure. So, and I think I also do note that in many cases. I guess I'll just defend this back now. I didn't think this enclosing move was that big if it can't threaten the life and death, but I guess I do have to respond. So because if black gets this push, then when he plays the knight's move, it's pretty much dead, I guess. Or if he just peeps and extends, yeah. So I do need to respond here. But after this move, if he plays another move, that's going to be Gote. So the pace of this game is actually quite slow. Yeah, so right now black is actually quite strong. Black is very solid side here, relatively solid here, while white's opening here is still untouched. So it will the outcome of this game will depend on whether black can get something by invading into white's moyo there. I don't know what my opponent's thinking about. He's actually being quite serious, I guess. 2 losses in 1 win. I don't think it matters too much which side you choose. In this case, I just chose the wider side, and it also has the corner. I think black should Atari and Atari, because descending here will it makes it that black has to live the 2 stones in the bottom. Black can't really give these up. And in that case, black will lose a lot of center influence. So, yeah, so black will now Atari, then white will Atari and push. So white would enclose this, and then I don't know if I should Hana here. Maybe I will. Well, seems like a pretty weird move. Clamp. I mean, it's sometimes a good shape, but in this case, I really can't see how this can be good shape. Because I just push and connect, and white is super strong. And before, if black just captures the stone, it's still not as strong for white to enclose. But after this exchange, white becomes super strong. I thought he was going to want Atari here. Do a 2-space jump. So don't underestimate these types of expansion moves, because even though your opponent can invade, when they do invade, the benefit from attacking is really what you're looking for. For example, if white just defends here, black can expand in the center actually, and the difference there can't really be compensated by just playing a really defensive territory move. So when you have a Moyo, you need to expand it. So after this becomes super strong, this invasion becomes a good possibility, a pretty good option. Say black invades here, and black really needs to, because if white adds another move, this feels it feels like it's becoming more and more solid. So I think black needs to do something here now. It's a pretty relatively slow player, I guess. Yeah, so that's what I expected actually, the invasion here. Since I already have a 2-space jump, I wanted to do the kick rather than the descend. Because it feels like this stone will help. If he extends, then I'll just do another 1-space extension to take away the I space. And like something like the knight's move would not be good here, since I already have this move. So I will just play the empty triangle to cut these off. Huh, interesting. A 1-space. I think I need to protect this. I don't want black to attach onto my 3/4 stone. And I chose this move because if I jump, then there's another attachment. So this prevents that attachment to get I space. And now I think I need to play a move in this area. Shades. Yeah, so at this point there are a few options. One is to take away more I space, letting black keep running out. The next one is to cap and make black live. I think if black gets this extension, it feels very hard to kill, since it's got I space on the bottom. It also has like these attachments to make white weak. So I feel like this is probably a big move. I'm going to Hani and Atari, and I'm not afraid of the Ko, since if he starts it, he doesn't have any Ko threats. So it's actually pretty light for white as well. And this is probably not a good move, since it gives away the I space. So actually, right after playing this move, this group is very dangerous. But if he doesn't play here, he should say like attach or something, and then capture back. I think that would be a better move. Or maybe peep here or something like that. Or maybe a knight's move here. Oh no, knight's move here probably is incentive. So I'm going to keep pressuring this group, and while making sure my territory is safe. So he picked this Tiger's Mouth. This is probably the... Oh, wait. I played this move too fast. I didn't realize that black has a Sente here. Oh, I got tricked. Good one. My peeping move is way too fast. I should have played a large knight move here. That would be way better. So now I let black escape because he can do this move. It's a direct Sente and it protects the connection. So after that he can then extend out. So, you see, one move can really make you fail an attack that otherwise would have been successful. And so that is a very careless move there. I played it very fast. So when black exchanges this and extends, I think I need to either think about invading here or something. Huh, but he didn't do it. Okay, so now he needs to make this group live, and it's not the easiest task, I think. So he definitely has some Sente moves. He can push, Tari, or he can do that. But he'll only have one of these Sente moves. Even though it looks like it kind of has a lot of eye space, but all of these are fake eyes, so that's only an illusion. Black really doesn't have that much eye space. So I think to live, black actually needs this move to be Sente. But I don't see how that move can be Sente. And there's no eyes on the right side, so if he plays here, I'll just block. And there's no eyes there, no eyes here either, even if he pushes in Sente. So like no eyes are all on the right side, which means all he has is these three potential locations. But as I said, if he plays here, I can actually connect on the right side, which means this would be Gote. So he can't actually have all of the three. Yeah, so this group is about to get captured, which really is something completely different considering the fact that if black played here, then this group would be completely alive after black pushes over here. So yeah, I made a mistake, but I also lured my opponent to make a follow-up mistake as well. So now I think we're good. We're back to... We're back on the good side. So my opponent hasn't made a move yet, and it's already been Byo-Yomi. And hopefully under the time pressure, he will be forced to make a move. I don't know if he just walked away or something, or he's thinking hard. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll just time out or something, and he just left the computer. I'm not sure what's happening here. But I don't know if you guys encountered this situation before. Maybe he just had something to do and he forgot to turn off his computer. Well, I guess at this point it's very hard for black to actually come back. Even if this lives, the outside white would be super strong, and then after this invasion, white would be very comfortably ahead. So I guess that's it. That's a pretty unorthodox ending to a game, but we'll take it. We'll take it. So ROC Chinese has, if we win this, we're gonna have 8 wins, and the others have like 4 or 5. So the balance has not been breached, and it's still, yeah. Hopefully our accounts will catch back, but if it would be also nice if we can get like a 5 down account in there as well. Sorry, I was confused because it actually says black plus time, but on the upper left it says white one. Okay, so that might be just a bug in the code or something. Anyway, with this win, with 8 wins on this, so let's go back to our generator, and we're back to 4. Okay, so that means we will play the mini Chinese again. Here we go. This time we have someone from the UK. And we'll do our mini Chinese. Yeah, so this haircut issue has been a massive problem. I don't know what you guys have been doing, but I've just been doing it myself. And I'm like afraid to cut like the hair in the middle. So I'm kind of just leaving that part. But yeah, I haven't had this long hair like ever. So this is like an interesting time. Huh. The this double approach, does that actually work? Oh, did I fall for a trick here? Maybe I did. So I can't cut now. Cutting here would fall for the trick since white can honey and connect. I know because I used to use that to trick people. But I think I can just block here and it should be no problem. This is quite interesting because I used to like to play here and black can't actually block. This is a mistake. And yeah, black has to protect the cut. And even though white can extend into the corner, but black can still enclose. So it's locally an even result. But actually what I played here is not. This is quite a aggressive variation by black. I think I want to make the exchange here. When you have this mini Chinese opening, it's really essential for black to keep a wall to make sure that these stones are efficient. Even if like stuff dies, you have to make sure that there's a wall, or else things are going to be very hard. Oh, I think maybe I could have. I've been playing like these terrible moves today. I think I should have played this, a large knight's move jump, and that way I can actually sacrifice it if white tries to capture. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is terrible. I have to crawl 2 more times, and that will make 8, and then I can come back. So I think the upper right is a pretty even result, surprisingly. Even though I made a mistake here, it seems to be okay for black in the end. I kind of want to just defend this because this move just seems like it's giving me enough space. So I think I feel it still comfortable when I defend there. Yeah, this peep is actually a good move. I don't want to simply connect. It seems like that would give white what he wants. So I wanted to peep, but I think white should have just connected when white peeped, because I still have to connect there and he can just naturally push in. But here it's pretty much giving me the rest of the territory. Yeah, since his right side is alive, all these stones are pretty small. So I can just let him capture whatever he wants there. He's a pretty fast player. Okay. Well, these attachments are probably too aggressive. Maybe like cutting is better. Oh wow, the sun. It's actually in the afternoon, but there's like a big tree in front of my window, so usually like when the sun is right over there, like right like early afternoonish, or like middle afternoonish, it starts to like shine in my face. And oh wow, that really distracted me. So I'm trying to actually find the right shape here, and I think I pretty much found it. So since this is like super strong, here when white jumps in, it's not a big deal at all. So the reduction here by white is not too successful, since I kept my base territory and I have a group to attack. And so he's going to have to lose out on other places in order to escape. And I think that's pretty much what's happening right now. So either if I descend or if I play here, white's going to lose something. Yep. I don't see how white can win this liberty race, though. Because a lot of places are untouched, a lot of these moves are situational now. Since white is like leaving the left side, if white gets something here, I can just like turn here, capture everything. So I don't really care if I lose some stones here. So this is actually quite situational, but it's very clear. So like after this, everything on the lower left is dead, and if I attach here, the middle is going to be captured. So like this is not an even trade at all. So my Atari here is actually quite situational. I'm going to Hane first and then ignore, so that it's going to be limited of what white can do to hurt my corner. And now I can keep attacking this group over here. So there's this attachment. If he ignores this when I attach and play here, then white can also be cut. But he's actually ignoring the middle, which I don't think is a good idea, because this part is too strong. So it's going to be very easy for black to just chase white into the wall, and that is pretty much it. And so yeah, the middle now is pretty much going to be captured. There is a Hane here though. This Hane. Yeah, there's something here. I can't really tell you what, because it kind of depends on what white will do first. Okay, but after this, I guess that doesn't exist anymore. I don't know why so many of these games right now are just going into like these really super messy whole board fights. Did I start these? I don't think I did, right? White is invading here, so I don't think I'm the one starting this.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I think my opponent is testing my reading. Yep, I think that's what he's doing. That was an extremely fast game. I'm not going to continue though. I need to choose a different opening, but yeah, wow, that was very quick. I don't think I have too much to say about that though, but because all that game was mostly about reading. So let's move on to the next game. I think I just rolled a double 4. So yeah, I think since this count has not that many games, we're just going to continue and do the next game on the same account. And we have our opponent. So we're going to continue on Min Chinese. And so I extended my time to 5 minutes. I didn't want to do 20 again because it sometimes like people kind of just leave it there. And I'm not sure why that happens though. But to avoid that, and so to ensure that we get into Byoyomi. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to try to alternate between these two. So this is like the micro Chinese, and then this is the mini Chinese. Yeah, I usually like to do the small knights move, but I think usually with the further one, I feel like the closer pincer is better. I don't really want to do the attachment. I think I'm just going to push now. The attachment variation is not that good, I think. But since I got the push, so when black pushes, white is supposed to push here and then extend back. Then black will connect. But in this case, black got the vital point. So this local shape is actually very good for black. And actually, since he is that a misclick? That's gotta be a misclick, right? Yeah, that's gotta be a misclick. I don't believe a 3-down will play there right now. So yeah, this shape is generally pretty good for black. So next time when your opponent pushes here, you should push back and then extend back. So here black is pretty comfortable. There is an invasion there, but it's not that big of a deal. Because black can sacrifice the stone if needed. So here, which Joseki should I pick? Kind of want to just secure the corner. So I'm just going to pick a variation that will secure the corner. And if he doesn't play here, I can still invade. So that will be a weakness for white in the future. So right now there's like 2 invasions. If he invades mine, I will invade his later. Okay, so he does like an attachment. This is not a bad move since it expands the upper side. I don't think the shoulder hit is that urgent since I don't see a good move for white to expand. If he plays the knight's move here, then I can shoulder hit. And like if he, I don't know, like if he jumps or something, then I can still reduce from above. So that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to just keep playing the corners. Yeah, so if you don't know what to do in the opening, just play in the corner. I think that's like a good rule of thumb. Yeah, so whenever you don't know what to do, pick an empty corner and just approach it or something. Yeah, so since I have this jump, this side isn't that big. I kind of want to just continue here, since he's helping my territory, and it's not super clear what white is gaining yet. So I feel pretty good about continuing on the side. So now I can come back to reduce him. So right now white does have a lot of moil, but it's hard to convert any of that into territory. So I can just reduce either side. And wow, that 2-space extension. This also feels kind of slow, doesn't it? I feel like white should actually probably pincer if he wants to secure that side. I feel like my opponent in this game is very opposite from all the opponents that we had so far in the random opening. This player seems much more reserved and just playing like all of these moves are very solid. So they're not like they're probably on the slow side. So I don't think they're the most efficient, but it does guarantee that you don't start dying everywhere when you play. If you don't see something, right? So I guess that's the good thing about it. So since I have the 5 in a row, I don't think white can attack it too easily. So I can just reduce white here. So wow, I think for the first time, we're going to have a calm game. So yeah, a calm game all the way into endgame, brought to you by Ryan Lee. Probably won't hear that very often. Yeah. I don't really need to like fight. I just have to make sure my group has enough eye space. And that's pretty much it. So I just need to be more on the protective side, since all my other territories are pretty solid. Yeah, so like in a regular game, I'll probably just take a big endgame right now. But since the lead is actually quite comfortable, maybe I'll just keep protecting. Actually, I don't know what to play here, actually. Since I don't know what to do, I'll just do another big endgame move. I don't think it's easy for white to capture this, or even attack it very severely. So I would just be taking the endgame moves. I do have to pay attention to this group though. It is still a weak group. So I think he just played a move that's not Sente. Yeah, you gotta really be careful when you play moves. Like, make sure they're actually Sente. And probably part of that is you should always check if your opponent's move is Sente. That will also get you a long way. Okay, talk about not starting a fight. Okay, let's secure this group now. Yeah, I don't know what to do right now other than somehow convince my opponent again that this game is over. That in itself is not very easy, as you guys have seen so far. Okay, fine. I won't get that one extra point. I'll make things like more complicated. So this is like the last thing, like a 3-3 invasion here, probably. And alright, I don't know what to do now. Maybe we'll increase the liberties with this group. So yeah, this game was relatively calm, but I think White's moves were a little slow. Like for example, the attachment here. White didn't actually expand this, which made these moves slow, because they don't actually make any points. So if you don't really do anything with this kind of moves, then they're pretty much going to waste. So that's going to be a massive issue. Okay, really, like I didn't mean to like do any of these things, but like through the moves, my opponent is just letting me do it. So, oh, why didn't I just capture that? I'm not really thinking at this point anymore. Yeah, so back to like what I was saying about these moves. Like when you make an expansion move, you really need to like follow up with it. Otherwise, that move is really going to waste. Otherwise, you should just not do the expansion. You should just take the territory. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, White doesn't really have any chances left. I think the more... Alright, that was also pretty quick. Alright, so I think that should be about it for this episode. And I'm not sure what happened here. I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to draw the game for the next one. And we have the 4-6 point. I do remember what that is. So, beginning of next episode, I'm going to play the double 4-6 opening. So, before I go, I wanted to make an announcement. There will be a New York Go League. So, if you're at home and you want to get some more serious Go games in, feel free to join in the New York Go League. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Ryan again, signing out. See you next week.